So back in 2023, I decided to try a viral side hustle that everyone was talking about, selling digital products. So I took about a week to create an online ebook and launched my first digital product. And since then, this one simple ebook has sold over 130 times, netting me over $3,700 in pure profit. The best part, all of this happened with very little promotion, and this ebook still gets me sales every single month to this day. And so in this video, I'm going to share my thoughts, overall experience, true earnings, and some tips I learned along the way over the last 2 years of selling digital products online. I'm also going to be sharing the step-by-step process you can use to monetize your own knowledge just like I did, and I'll also be sharing some of the pros and cons of selling digital products in general. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to identify your niche, which products actually have potential, and which platforms you can use to begin selling profitably. Again, this is just an honest look at my own experiences. I'll be looking back at the last 2 years and sharing what I learned. Hopefully it helps you out as well. Let's get to it. All right, guys, so let me set the stage here and take you back in time just a little bit before I ever sold a digital product online. Now, if you've been following me for a while, you know that I've been in the blogging and YouTube game for a while. I started blogging back in 2018. I became a digital nomad. I started this YouTube channel in 2020, and those have kind of been my main hustles or businesses. And you know, during this time, I managed to scale my old blog, This Online World, into a 6-figure blog that I sold. I also passed 100,000 on YouTube thanks to the awesome support from you guys. And all in all, I'd say I found some pretty decent success in the blogging and affiliate marketing world. But I'm honestly still a really small fish in a big pond, and part of the reason for that is I've never sold my own product. I've never created a digital download or a course or anything like that, so I kind of always felt like I was leaving a lot of money on the table. But like all the buzz you see to this day, every content creator is always saying, hey, you should sell digital products if you really want to make money online. So in 2023, I figured it was time to give it a go. I was going to create a simple info ebook outlining some of the lessons I had learned. So let me break down how the next 2 years went and how I got started. And so really, guys, the first step in selling a digital product is deciding what product you want to sell in the first place. And my first instinct at the time was to make a course about blogging or a video series about scaling a YouTube channel, but I kind of did some market research and realized that both of those niches or verticals were so crowded, and I also didn't really feel like talking about it because I'd already been talking about it for years at that point. And so I took some time to reflect on my own personal skills, and I kind of approached it with the mindset of, what do I know that people would be willing to pay me to teach them? And this is a really important mindset I think people need to adopt when picking a niche. What skills or knowledge do you possess that other people would be willing to pay you for? And really, don't be scared to brag about yourself here. You probably have some really valuable knowledge, either from your job or your life experiences or past business ventures, that people would be more than happy to pay you for. Now, for me, I've been a freelance writer in the personal finance niche for years at this point, ever since I was in college, and I even ended up writing for Forbes and other big publications. And so ultimately I decided, you know what? I'm going to launch a freelance writing ebook to help teach people how to become a profitable freelance writer, just like I did. So how did I actually create my first digital product? Well, let me show you guys the exact steps you can use to create an ebook just like I did. And so to get started, I actually wrote the thing. And over the next couple of weeks, I spent time outside of work creating the outline and content for my freelance writing ebook. Now, the angle of my ebook was freelancing for freedom, and it was basically going to be a guide about how to make money with freelance writing, but how you can also leverage that to gain locational and financial freedom. And I chose this avenue because it really spoke to my own experiences. I mean, I quit my office job back in 2018/2019, booked a one-way ticket to Colombia. I dove into freelance writing. I had really not that much in terms of savings. So again, I wanted an ebook, an angle that kind of spoke to my experiences. But yeah, I'll show you the honest Google Doc I made back in 2023 right here on screen. You can see it's about 40 pages, and I spent some time creating an outline of every chapter that I wanted in the ebook, from how to pick a niche to building a portfolio, all the way to scaling your writing income. Now guys, back then ChatGPT was kind of just getting started and it really wasn't as good as it was now. So I wrote all of this myself. It's a human produced ebook. I wasn't using AI tools or anything like that. Again, it was back in 2023. But these days you can create entire ebook outlines with simple ChatGPT prompts. You can then build out the content with more complex prompts. Again, I'll show you guys something on screen just as an example. So you can do this even faster than I did back in the day. Again, this took me about a week to actually write these 40 pages. Nowadays, you could do this in an afternoon. But anyways, after about a week of writing, I actually had the finished version of my ebook. So let me show you guys how I polished it up and made it ready for sale. And so to actually create my ebook, I just made a free Canva account and got to work. Canva has thousands of templates for you to choose from, especially when it comes to ebooks or digital downloads, and tons of these templates are completely free. And it's also awesome because a lot of them have really solid designs for both the cover page of the ebook and then the content inside. And you can easily add new images, change fonts and colors, and really make the ebook look how you want it to look. But yeah, I'll show you guys exactly how my ebook turned out. You can see it has a pretty simple cover page. There's nothing too flashy inside. And all I had to do was copy the content I wrote into different ebook sections and then work on the design a little. This took me about a day because, again, all of the hard work was actually creating the content that was going to add value to people inside of the ebook. So really, I just had to copy paste it into Canva and make a few tweaks. It was honestly that simple. And guys, you don't need to buy a course teaching you how to make digital products. You just have to give it a go. I'd never created one before, and within a week, I had a ready to sell freelance writing ebook that honestly, I think is pretty good and still holds up. Plus, there's now software out there like Designer that helps you turn entire ChatGPT prompts into ebooks within a few minutes, which is pretty crazy. And again, with just some basic prompting yourself, you can really create an ebook pretty quickly with ChatGPT. But in any case, my ebook was finally ready for sale. So let me talk about how you can actually start selling and what I did to get my first sales. And so, okay guys, where do you actually sell digital products? Well, this can be really overwhelming for people when they're first starting out because there are honestly so many websites and marketplaces and tutorials for how to start selling that it can feel pretty overwhelming. And so really quickly, I'm going to mention a few of the top options out there, kind of what they're good for, and then what I ultimately ended up choosing and some options I recommend. And so first up, one of the newer options and one that I really like is pillar.io. And this is actually something I just started testing recently to promote all of my YouTube channels, my ebook, my blog and newsletter and things like that. And honestly, I think Pillar is awesome. And you can really think of Pillar like a link in bio tool, but way better than anything that's on the market. And so Pillar lets you sell digital products, coaching calls, and all sorts of things right from your social media pages. You can also run email marketing campaigns, set up affiliate programs for your products, and even show a brand kit to help land sponsorships. And Pillar even has some new AI features it's rolling out that help you design and sell digital products, including ebook, right from your Pillar store or Pillar page. So again, it's very creator friendly. It's used by over 100,000 creators currently, and I'll show you guys my page. I think it's pretty clean, and again, it promotes my ebook right there. If you like social media marketing and you're on social media, I definitely recommend checking out Pillar, and I'll link it in the description box. And if you use my link, you help support the channel, and you also get your first 30 days for free. Now, a second option for selling digital products is Etsy, and this is actually something I came really close to starting. And Etsy is great for digital products because it's a marketplace, so people are already searching for things, so you can kind of get some free traffic and attention. And honestly, Etsy is great for things like digital artwork, prints, notebooks, planners, templates, and things like that, but it's really not as good for ebooks or courses or PDFs, in my opinion. Now, a third option you can consider, also super popular, it's called Gumroad. And here people sell everything from graphic designs to monthly memberships for premium communities, and it's a very popular place for selling digital goods. It's also pretty decent for ebooks and courses or memberships like I mentioned, but the transaction fees are a little high. You're paying around 10% per sale, sometimes even more if Gumroad actually sends the person to your page. So again, it is a little hefty on the fee side. And finally, you have the fourth option, which are kind of these more like social community selling based platforms like School or WAP, where you're kind of creating a community. Maybe it's a course, maybe it's memberships, group coaching, things like that. And you sell digital products through that avenue, which again, I was just starting out, so it wasn't really for me. So what did I use to ultimately sell my ebook and make almost $4,000? Well, I chose to sell on a platform called Sellfy. And so Sellfy is an e-commerce platform that lets creators, entrepreneurs, and small businesses sell digital products, physical goods, subscriptions, and print-on-demand items directly to their audience. Now, this video isn't supported or sponsored by Sellfy. They're just who I happen to use. I think they're a pretty cool package or software, super easy to use. And it's kind of like selling on Shopify, except way simpler. And you don't need to know how to code or mess with theme designs or deal with any of those custom apps or headaches. Sellfy is super simple. Again, this video is not sponsored by them. Sellfy is just who I happen to use, but I'll link them down in the description if you want to sign up with my referral code and help support the channel. But yeah, I think Sellfy is awesome for selling digital products, and you have quite a few things you can sell. But yeah, you can sell ebooks, digital art, PDFs, memberships, and again, it's super easy to design and edit your storefront, and you can also sell from your own domain. And so I took about a day and I created my Sellfy store called Freelancing for Freedom, which again is kind of promoting this idea of freelance writing as a route to financial and locational independence. I'll show you guys the landing page here. I've never really optimized it, which is a mistake, but it basically explains who I am, the gist of the ebook, what you'll learn by the end of it, and then has a sneak peek of the modules. There's a couple of call to actions. It's really nothing fancy. I mean, there's a coupon code, there's some testimonials and things like that. Usual landing page stuff. Again, I really could spend more time tweaking this, and I probably should, but this is my first digital product, so I kind of just wanted to get something out there. But yeah, Sellfy has tons of other features. I mean, there's email marketing, you can set up upsells, you can create affiliate programs, there's coupons, and you get basic analytics and tracking as well. And you don't need to know how to code. And really, other than this simplicity, one of the main reasons I chose Sellfy is that there are no transaction fees and the pricing is very simple. And so the starter plan starts at $22 per month and lets you sell up to $10,000 in sales per year. And again, you don't pay any transaction fees, which is something that's pretty appealing to me. And you know, at the time I thought I was going to be selling like all kinds of ebooks. I was really getting ready to dive into digital products. And so this lack of transaction fees was important to me. I probably could have sold on Gumroad and come out around the same amount. So transaction fees aren't always the worst thing, but again, you should kind of pick a platform that scales the way you want it to scale. Sellfy also has a free week trial if you just want to give it a go and kind of set up a store to see how it feels and how it looks. So again, I definitely recommend checking them out. But yeah, this is honestly how I got my first digital product up and ready to sell. So let me guys explain now how I actually got sales and how I started marketing my ebook. And so as you guys know, I've been running this YouTube channel for a while now, ever since 2020, and I've made a bunch of videos on a bunch of different topics. And during this time, I've actually put out 2 different videos that cover freelance writing. One of them is from over 5 years ago, and it's a very niche and step-by-step guide on how to get started with freelance writing. The other video is more recent. It was put out several months before my ebook went live. It's a more popular video on 6 places to find freelance writing work, and it actually has over 160,000 views. And so guys, I kid you not, all I did was take my ebook link in the store I had built on Sellfy, and I put it in the description box of these 2 videos. I also put a couple links on my blog at the time, but I really wasn't talking about freelance writing that much on my blog, so it was in a couple of articles. I sent out some emails, but I never really ran like an ebook launch or a course promotion or ebook promotion or like a multi-step email sequence. It was pretty simple. Like I launched this thing, put it in a few spots, and then kind of just let it sit. But I'll show you guys my actual Sellfy analytics here. And over this time, I managed to drive about 26,000 people to look at the ebook, which blows my mind. Now, plenty of these are probably bots as well, but ultimately I got 137 purchases for over $3,700. And I want to say here that my conversion rate is pretty bad. I mean, it should probably be around 2 to 4%, I would say. My landing page isn't great. Again, I really didn't funnel to this thing with like multi-step email sequences or anything like that. But honestly, I'll take it. I mean, for a simple product, a simple website, and really not that much promotion, I'm pretty happy with the results. And really, I think this goes to show how a very simple product and idea can actually turn into a pretty decent success, really without too much effort. Now, again, I will say I already had this YouTube channel, which drove the majority of people to this ebook, which isn't something everyone has, so I don't want to take away from that. And I don't want to say or discourage people that if you're brand new, you have no chance of getting sales. Again, I already had a bit of an existing audience. My YouTube channel was way smaller just a couple of years ago, but I want to address this and also cover what you can do if you want to sell digital products, but you're brand new to internet marketing and you don't have an audience quite yet. And so guys, what are some tips for actually promoting your first digital product if you're new to this? Well, like I mentioned, my first tip would probably be to join something like a Gumroad or an Etsy, where it's more of a marketplace because you can actually get free and organic traffic from people searching around the marketplace, which I think is awesome for beginners. And my second tip would be to really niche down into your area of expertise and to then create some theme pages on social media that speak to the audience you're trying to sell to. Here's an example I found that's absolutely amazing. So it's a YouTube channel called Registered Nurse RN. It's a massive channel now started by a nurse named Sarah, who basically provides helpful information to nurses who are in training. Now again, this is a massive channel, but when it started out, it wasn't. And she makes money from her YouTube AdSense and from affiliate programs, but she also sells plenty of digital products. And so you can take a look at her store. She's selling notebooks, study guides, even merch. And again, she's a massive page now, but she started out small. And so this is just a prime example of how you can lean into your area of expertise. You can create content about your niche, and then funnel your audience as you build it to the digital products you're selling. And again, it doesn't have to be YouTube. You could do this on Instagram. You could do it on TikTok. You could go post on Reddit. There's lots of ways to get eyeballs on content once you start producing it. And really guys, my third tip would just be to not reinvent the wheel here, and I'll explain what I mean. I think a lot of people think that they need to come up with some secret sauce or brand new idea to package and sell because they're kind of worried that what they're selling is already out there in the marketplace and they don't want to be a copycat. But here's the thing, ultimately, if something is already selling well in the marketplace, that's proof of concept. You know people are buying this product and they're interested in this idea. So you're kind of shooting yourself in the foot if you go out there and try to reinvent something completely new, because your odds of success are much lower. Now, I'm not saying you should copy someone word for word or be a complete copycat, but again, look at what people in your niche are selling, look at what is clearly working and driving sales for them, put your own unique spin on it, and create digital products where you know there's an existing demand. And again, you can relate this back to your own life experiences, your job experience, businesses you've started and failed, or businesses that you've ended up scaling. Again, you can put your own unique spin on it. You don't have to copy people, but you also don't have to reinvent the wheel and make things difficult out of the gate. But anyways, guys, I hope this video has been helpful. And if you're considering selling digital products, I definitely recommend giving it a try. Now, I know this video is a bit different than the ones I normally make, but I just wanted to take a trip down memory lane and kind of share how I started selling my first digital product. Now, you might be watching this and thinking, yeah, it took you like 2 years and you didn't even make $4,000. But to me, I would consider this experiment a success. Ultimately, I hope this is an example of how you can take your expertise and monetize it. And again, guys, it is even easier and faster to do this nowadays because of all the AI tools out there. You can start selling on Sellfy, you can do Etsy or Gumroad, you can use Pillar like I mentioned. You have so many options. So I really encourage other creators out there or people interested in making money online to give selling digital products a try. But yeah, that really does it for this one, guys. I hope you have enjoyed, and you can let me know down in the comments as well if you like this style of video or if you want more kind of step-by-step guides like this one. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a fantastic day and week, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.